Welcome back, everybody. This is the TLS Round of 8, sponsored by Razer and Twitch. And we are going on to game number 2 here in the first match of this round. Skzlime versus SouthPark. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, it is going to be exciting. I mean, after the last one, I'm really kind of hoping SouthPark is going to play a little bit smarter because he needs to up his mental game. Skzlime was just way on top of that one. So I'm kind of thinking maybe he'll take it into a little bit more of a steady game and just try and trust himself because it's only game 2. He's still got the opportunity to cheese for a few more games if he loses this one. So I think having faith in himself at this point would be a good plan.
Yeah, well, I mean, this could be just part of his whole, planning for the series, right? Because a lot of players, they'll 5-pool once in a series, and even if they don't win the game, it's just kind of put your opponent on edge.
Yeah.
I mean,
anything can happen.
Jadon 5-pooled twice in a finals against Flash, so if he can do it, then anybody can.
Yeah.
So I don't think SouthPark should be too worried about that game. Although it's interesting that Skzlime kind of pre-countered it by going 2 racks. So I'm wondering if Skzlime's going to 2 racks again here, or what's going to happen. I really have no idea.
I wouldn't imagine he'll do that again because it looked very much like a counter, not just something he was trying to... not just like a crazy kind of aggressive build. It looked like a counter to what he thought SouthPark was going to do. So I think it probably won't be cropping up again right here. So maybe I don't know, it's mind gaming a little bit too much, but maybe if SouthPark did go for something kind of rushy again, maybe it would work this time. But honestly, that's maybe reading a bit too far into it.
Well, I mean, we are on electric circuit, and there's no ramp on this map, so going for a 9-pool may be slightly more effective, although I think you can do a tight wall between your main and your natural with just 1 D point of barracks, so perhaps
you can, I think.
not. Yeah, so I don't know. But then it's even less likely that he 9-pools, so I don't know. Anyway.
So it's anyone's guess. That's the conclusion we've come to after all this analysis. But you know as well as we do.
Yeah, I think in the long term though, the map stats do favor Terran on this map in TVZ. So SouthPark is going to have a think about how he's going to overcome this. Although I think in the foreign scene it still is good for Zerg, just because Zergs are way too strong. but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the map.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Should we go into it?
Let us do it.
Let's go.
Alright, here we are in game number 2 at the top right. As the red Zerg, we have SJ SouthPark. And at the bottom left, as the peach-ish Terran leading 1-0 in the series, we have Sass Skzlime.
Yes, we do. And now is the chance, if there was ever a chance, for one of our non-Zerg heroes to trump one of our Zerg anti-heroes. And this is the matchup most people are going to be calling out because people really seem to have no faith whatsoever in SouthPark's anything other than ZVZ. So kind of the crowd thinks that Skzlime's going to be going through, but SouthPark's going to have a lot to prove, especially after last game. But I'm really curious to see what he's going to do. As we already looked at before the match, there's any number of varieties, and the mind games, as far as I can tell, are going to be a little bit off kilter at this point, especially given his cheesy, well, not cheesy, but kind of a little bit rush-based play in the first game. Maybe that's why he did it, just to make himself harder to read in this game.
It's quite funny because apparently, according to a certain Perdos who knows a lot about the foreigner scene, in Gambit's Cup and IC Cup Clan League, SouthPark is actually 4-0 against Skzlime.
Really?
Apparently, just because of the way their styles match up, as you said, Skzlime being a rather aggressive Zerg, SouthPark being a rather aggressive Zerg, Skzlime is apparently can be a little bit greedy in this matchup, so that often ends to, well, not go his way when that happens. So perhaps he kind of consciously thought about that when he was going for the 2 racks last game as well. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so that adds a whole nother level to the mind games when they've got significant records against one another. I mean, players like these guys would, because they're going to have clashed fairly often in tournaments like Gambit Cup. But that's actually really, really interesting, and definitely may have an effect on the way it goes. But also, that's just going to show the doubters and the naysayers that South Park is in with a shot here. There's no good reason to count him out.
But having said that, Elegant, it looks like Skyline's up to no good here because he has taken his gas after doing the Zergling type wall in. Fortunately for him, also he spawned at the bottom left, so his Marines will pop out on the inside. Of course, in Broodor, you can't change where your units spawn on from your unit producing structures. It's always the bottom right. So if he had, say, spawned in South Park's position at the top right, his Marines would actually spawn on the outside of his wall, which is less than ideal. Got
a little bit lucky there.
Yep.
Well, that probably affects his build, though, to be honest, because I wouldn't put it past a player of this caliber at all to have planned a different build depending where he was on the map. So lucky is maybe a little bit of a stretch, but lucky depending on how this particular strategy pans out anyway. It looks like the SCV scout might be able to get into South Park's base, although there are 2 lings waiting for it. I think it's just going to sneak by.
Yeah, it's way too big a gap to block. And, I always wonder about that, Elegant. Like, do players actually have different builds for maps like this where, in some positions you can wall off, do a good wall off, and other positions you can't? I mean, obviously, a very well prepared player would, but even in, even in Pro League, for example, we've seen, like, I think was it Fantasy who lost to like a 9-pool or a 5-pool or something because he walled in a way that both his barracks and his factory had units spawning on the outside, so there was absolutely no way he could actually defend the Zerglings because everything just kept dying immediately as it popped.
That's such a rookie error.
Exactly, and the thing is, so when you see games like that, you're like, well, I mean, a player of Fantasy's caliber, one of the best Terrans ever to play this game, doing something like that is a little bit weird. Anyway, we do actually have one going straight for a starboard here. Look at this, Skyline.
Oh,
man, what is this? Is this going to be just a 1 Wraith or just into drops or something like that? I think it might be a Vulture drop.
I think it's drops, yeah. I think it may well be. Although I always love to see Wraiths, but. Oh, we have the machine shop happening, so...
Could be
interesting.
Could be for mine, so you go for a Vulture drop mines.
Yeah.
Man, this is crazy. I was just talking about Fantasy, but this could be, the Fantasy-esque Vulture drop into Valkyries. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, it actually really could be, and that's always good stuff to see. I love seeing Valkyries, and I love when they actually work, because that's a rare pleasure indeed. They're always a bit of fun, but when they actually happen, they're a joy to behold. The first Vulture almost getting taken out by Zerglings there, a little bit dodgy for Skyline, but it looks like it may be able to make its way past the Sunken Colony. Will the Sunken Colony be in time? Will the Zerglings be able to block it? It looks like the Sunken Colony will just be in time. The Vulture bites the dust.
Yeah, that was quite sloppy there, taking so much damage from just 4 Zerglings. Really, you should be able to micro Vulture to take basically no damage from the Zerglings. Also, I think there's a car alarm outside my apartment. If you guys can hear that, I apologize.
Yeah, not really. I wouldn't have noticed it if you hadn't pointed it out.
Excellent.
Yeah, pretend it's not happening.
So we are going to see an expansion now from what's his face, Skyline, and I think he's going to get a dropship. Yes, good. So it is in fact the 1 Wraith into dropship. Actually, not too uncommon nowadays to see this actually. So you just get the initial Wraith first, just to go do some harassment, and then follow it up with a Vulture drop. This Wraith can easily kill a couple of Overlords. I mean, we can see the 2 Overlords out on the map have basically no chance of going home to defend. This one outside the natural is basically a guaranteed kill. The other one is kind of a bit based on luck, depending on if the Wraith can actually find it. But we can see here, look, another Overlord actually moving out. This one's definitely going to go down as well. So at the minimum, he's going to kill 2 Overlords, possibly 3 with this Wraith.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be pretty effective. We're going to see the Hydras coming out to defend right now, but they're going to have to deal with the mines as well. He needs to be careful. Oh, but the Wraith goes down. We could see mines land on these Hydralisks, but none of these mines actually get down. One gets onto one Hydralisk, but that is some sloppy Wraith micro. Skyline not being careful enough to execute strategy of this caliber so far. He's going to have to pick up his game, because this build can exist quite on the edge of possibility.
Oh, mine! Did that not go off? What the heck?
No, it didn't hit.
Oh,
damn,
man.
Hydras are imba.
Random mines not going off here. Oh, he's gonna run into another one, I think. Oh man. Oh, looks like a couple of lings eat that one. I think this one might hit.
This one might.
Jesus, these Hydras are so good at mine clearing. What the hell?
Okay, gets 1 Hydra, but this is problematic. We have 2 Marines, 3 Marines at the front, and we have a bunker almost finished. This could actually end right here, right now for Skylime. SouthPark is going to be all in amongst him. He has 1 siege tank out. It's going to be some seriously good SCV drilling here if he's going to keep this alive. The Hydralists are all in amongst Skylime stuff, and looks like he will just about maybe be able to hold. The Hydralists must all be on low health right now, but they're still all going. The siege tank goes down. The SCVs are doing the best they can, but the Marines are all getting taken out, and the SCVs are starting to go down onto the Hydralists.
vultures are dropping in the main now, and there's no defense. The drones are all gonna die. The drones are all gonna die, but so are the SCVs. The SCVs are all dying as well. There's like no SCVs mining, but all the drones are dying. I don't know if SouthPark even realizes that his drones are dying. He's too busy microing the Hydras because he's only got 3 left. They're all in the deep red. The SCVs could actually finish them off, and the drones in the main, they are all gone here. He should go to the natural and finish off. There's only like 5 drones remaining. I think the Hydras are gonna get taken down here. It looks like Skzlime might have helped, but he's not paying attention. He's busy microing the vultures. No drones in the main. 4 drones only mining at the natural, but it looks like the vultures are going to get taken out as well, so we might have a bit of a reset, but I think Skzlime is way, way, way ahead.
He definitely, he actually undoubtedly is. That's absolutely crazy stuff. SouthPark just completely didn't seem to be aware of the possibility of dropships right there, and got caught really, really by surprise. And yeah, that's definitely come out in Skzlime's favor. Looking at the SCV count, Skzlime is looking good right now. I mean, the drones are just rock bottom. I mean, he's hatching a fair few. That's one benefit of Zerg. You can really replenish that drone supply fast, which is fortunate that he doesn't really need the unit count at this point. He can make do with very, very few Hydras, but nonetheless, that was pretty rough. We have a dropship floating over to the right-hand side, but it appears to be empty. So,
That's weird.
Skeleton dropship?
It could be a mistake. He might have thought he loaded up some units and then just wasn't paying attention.
Because he definitely hasn't. That dropship going into the Zerg
he
natural.
Must know. Maybe I think it might just be a fake and forcing the Zerg to pull the drones off to lose mining time. He's like pretending. Yeah, see,
but that's gonna. Is that gonna work? That's
well, look, he's forcing all the drones to run away. Look, he's causing a lot of lost mining time without actually committing any units to this. This is actually really smart. I think I'm pretty sure he's doing this on purpose now. And just kind of freaking the drones out and not actually doing anything. So he basically just cost the Zerg like an extra, what, 80 minerals or something in lost mining? I completely made that number up, but it was some number of minerals.
No, I know that was just completely kind of number plucked out of thin air, but that's okay. You got to do that sometimes just to make yourself sound legit. But yeah, that was actually really cool. That was a good use of a dropship, which is otherwise a pretty useless unit with nothing in it. So yeah, cool from Skzlime. And he also gets a nice look at the Zerg Spire timing as well. And so he knows that, his missile turret timing is, in fact, right on. But we only have 2 Museless morphing, 3 Museless morphing now, but really no danger as of yet. Okay, 5 Museless, so the turrets are going to be justified, but he's not going to have to go too crazy on that, and should be absolutely fine.
Ooh, I thought it was kind of cool how he's also using the dropship to give himself vision over this high ground cliff. And oh, he's baited the Mutalisk into the turrets as well with the dropship, costing SouthPark a single Mutas straight away, but more and more Mutas coming out. And the barracks are only just now getting up. Just a single barracks up at the moment. I mean, this is why you actually do the Valkyrie transition. He's going straight for Vessels instead, but this is why in Fantasy's build he went for the Valkyries, because you know, having gone for this fast tech option, you don't really have the infrastructure to spam out those Medic Marines to defend against the Mutas, so having the Valkyries is really, really, really useful.
Yeah, I mean, Valkyries are invaluable. They just do so much damage against Clump Useless. It looks like the missile turret's going to be more than enough to deal with these Useless. What is he doing? Why is he going all the way in just to try and grab some SCVs? It looks like he's actually going to try and take on the missile turrets right here. I don't know if he can really afford to do this. He doesn't necessarily have the Useless count, and he's going to get really badly caught here. The repairing on that turret means the turret does not go down at all. Holy... What the hell, Mr. SouthPark? Do you not value your Mutalist? Do you not value your life? That is a very, very questionable decision.
I think he was taking a bit of a gamble there because he saw the science facility, so he knows there's no Valkyries coming out, and he's like, well, there's no chance that you actually have any kind of decent Bioforce either. So if he could actually take out the bottom 2 turrets, he could actually deny mining in the main for a little while there just by hold positioning the Mutas at the bottom, because there's no ground. There was only a single Marine out at that point to defend it, but Skzlime very, very smartly just pulled like 6 SCVs to mass repair the turret. And there's no chance the Mutas have enough DPS to actually take that down. So a bit of a gamble there, but a great response by Skzlime means that that kind of just epically failed.
Yeah, Skzlime really made it fall completely flat on its face there, so well played to him in that situation, because often Terrans can be a little bit slow on pulling SCVs to repair, but that was very, very smartly done indeed. Putting SouthPark yet again in another sticky situation. I also find it really strange that SouthPark didn't make the 3rd hatchery at his mineral only earlier. Got a 3rd hatchery just kind of chilling in the middle of his base.
I didn't think of that, but that's an excellent point there. That's basically a free base, and Zerg should almost always take that. Well, basically always. I can't really think of a great reason.
I can't think why not. Yeah, it's not like you need it for troop placement and spawning or anything. I mean, it's
although he is now double expanding, basically taking the 12 and 3 o'clock bases at the same time here, playing a little bit risky.
Oh, dropship going to that. Oh, going to his mineral only just with the science facility closely overseeing the Mutas in time.
Oh, and there's the irradiate. The Muta's not paying attention. Oh, wow. Good split, though. And he kills his own Muta that's irradiated. Wow. Nice job.
Yeah, good response. Good response.
Oh, he's gonna kill the facility, too. Oh, man. What?
Whoa. Okay, so the science facility is actually going to go down. A couple of Marines going to be taking. Oh, actually manages to grab himself from a low health Mutalist. Nice. Irradiate doing almost no damage. Looks like he's going to be able to grab the control tower as well. Where all the Marines? There are no Marines on the map right now. There are about 5 Marines in the natural. Nothing else.
All the Marines are in the dropship because they're going to the main. And I don't think SouthPark hasn't reacted to this at all. He hasn't seen the drop. He doesn't know this is coming again. SouthPark might lose all the drones in his main. Once again, there's zero reaction. I mean, finally moving the drones. He's fighting them with the drones. Well, you can't fight medic Marines with drones. Maybe he thinks they were vultures. Okay, the Hydras, though, they are coming in from the back, and they are going to clean it up, but losing a decent number of drones anyway.
Oh, dropship does go down. One Marine still defiantly hacking away. Gets an extra drone kill. Very cheeky. I was a bit worried about the lurker aspect right there, but the lurker aspect does finish. Had that not, that might have been a little bit worrying. But what damage did those Mutalists do in the end? I kind of lost track of them a little bit. Did they stay in for much longer, or did they run home?
It seems that they've left. I don't actually know where they are. Okay, they're in the middle of the map now, but it looks like SouthPark actually got the Hydra upgrades here. These are definitely speed upgrade to Hydras. I really wasn't paying attention to his tech, but he's making a lot of Hydras here. Is he just going for a big Hydra attack? I mean, that's not a very good idea generally against the Bio army, especially with this many siege tanks. But if he can get a really great concave in the middle of the map, maybe he can do something. This is really unusual here. I mean, I don't know why he would assume that. I mean, this is an anti-mech composition, right? But I don't know what made him think that turns to a mech. Oh man, wasn't even on attack mode, but he does get the vessel straight away, and here we go. Here's the big engagement. There's no siege mode on the siege tank though. Then why are they not sieging up?
Siege tanks are just going to get absolutely crushed right here. Huge number of Hydralists going to come in, and the engagement easily goes to SouthPark. I thought he was going to throw away too many Mutalists right there, but it turns out to be absolutely worth it. Almost manages to snipe out 2 of those science vessels on the way in there as well, but both those science vessels seem to have got away with it. But SouthPark just completely overwhelmed Skzlime in the middle, and it looks like he's going to be able to get away with double gas expand. That is a huge deal. His tech is just going to fly through its stages in any second now. It's going to get seriously scary.
He's actually not even going for a hive though. He's getting another hatchery and another Eva without getting a Queen's Nest. And he's getting the ranged upgrade here. He's actually going for a big lair army. Mutas and Hydras and Lurkers. He's actually doing the old school Hydra Lurker, except he doesn't even have Lurkers. He's doing Muta Hydra against a Bio Force. This is insanity from SouthPark, and yet it's working. That's what boggles my mind right now.
But furtherly boggling is the fact that he did get the Lurker tag. He did research it. And just decided, no, too cool.
Double irradiate on the Mutas, and all but 2 go down, but they're just going to go back. Oh, no, they're going to run away. Because that Marine could probably actually kill both of them with +1.
Yeah,
Marines are pretty damn good.
Marines are sick, aren't they? I love those little guys. They don't look like much, but man,
SouthPark's just expanding again. This guy's going crazy. SouthPark! I love this style, though. This is awesome.
Well, it actually seems to be a fairly good judgment. I mean, looking at Skzlime's...
Oh, there's the Lurkers. Elegant, look at the middle of the map.
Oh, that is a lot of Lurker eggs right there. That's enough Lurkers probably to take down this army without any support, but the support's coming. There are more Hydralists coming in, flooding and flooding. A little bit of a supply box situation for SouthPark right now, but hopefully he's going to clean that up any second now because he has lava ready and waiting, and he has plenty of cash incoming, so he's going to be able to just absolutely storm the map with huge numbers of units any second now. Skzlime has to get moving once again, and get moving is exactly what he's doing. He's going straight into the middle of the map, no messing around. He's going to run into this massive Lurker field, and he would do well not to engage that with his Marines. He needs to get the siege tanks on it absolutely post-haste. It looks like that's what he's going to do.
He's got to protect the vessels! What is he doing? Oh my goodness, I can't believe they let that happen, but this is not a good engagement angle for the Zerg. He's running headlong in, his Lurkers are getting stuck. The Lurkers are bugging out because they were all stacked on top of each other while borrowed. Oh, this is a terrible engagement for SouthPark. Is he going to get away with it? No, he's going to lose so many Lurkers, and why is the vessel not protecting? Okay, there we go. Oh man, the Lurkers were bugging out because he borrowed them on top of each other, and when they unborrowed, they all got stacked and they couldn't actually walk off of each other there. Oh man. SouthPark, I think he definitely could have taken that if he got a good concave.
That was a jaw-droppingly bad engagement. I mean, that is the opposite of cost-effective right there. That hurt me to see, and I hate Zerg. You can ask anybody. we have a bunch of Hydralists though. He's been able to produce them once again very, very quickly, so he should be okay for now. But that was definitely a bit of a setback to say the least. At the top left-hand corner, we have a bunch of idle drones. Hopefully, he's going to sort that out soon and get that mining. There we go. He does indeed get up there, not too slowly. And to be honest, the Terran force coming towards him isn't too big. And if he thinks he can defend his natural at the same time, he can wheel around and sort of cut off
He's going for the big flank elegant. The Marines are not in position to defend the siege tanks. Oh, he's waiting. No, I thought he was going to go. He's waiting for as long as possible to get as many units as he can. Before he just goes in like one huge attack on this army. There's a few more reinforcements coming out from the Terran. They might actually run straight into the Zerg here in the middle of the map while the rest of the army pushes into the natural. This is also where the lair is, as well as the spire. So some tech structures there that SouthPark definitely doesn't want to give up. So definitely needs to hold on to the natural. It's not just a regular hatchery that he can maybe sacrifice for the greater good. See, if this was a normal hatchery and not his lair, he might even be able to sack this because he has so many other bases. But drone massacre! Oh my goodness.
Marines and their DPS, it just hurts me to see. That was brutal. The drones didn't make it anywhere. If that had been a bunch of zealots and dragoons, those drones would have just moseyed on happily. But as it is, Skyline's going to be pushing on in.
The now. Nice D-Matrix on the lead tank. The Hydra's coming in from the back. A couple of Hydras even morphing on top. There's a lot of Hydras from the back. He's going to start focusing down the siege tanks, but that is so many siege tanks as well as Marines. It looks like Skyline, is he going to hold more Hydras from the back, and SouthPark's going to barely clean it up? Yes!
Right on the edge of existence right there, SouthPark just managing to scrape it right to the death with no more than a handful of Hydras remaining. We have a little bit of an eraser going on in the main, but it looks like that's not going to really grab itself any drone kills. But nice idea from Skzlime whilst his opponent is distracted, almost losing the science vessel but not quite doing so. Another big army at Skyline's natural though. Look at this, look at all those siege tanks, look at all those Marines. Once again, it's going to be a bit scary. Both these guys are going to have to macro up seriously once again, and SouthPark is still going to be on the defensive. He is not out of trouble.
Elegant, he's not remaking his lair anywhere. I can't see him making a lair.
Right hand side, he's got it.
Okay, he finally started there. I clicked it before, I was like, why is he not starting his lair? I mean, he had a lot of money there as well. I wish he would make a bunch of lurkers. He's got so much gas here. You could easily make like, 12 lurkers, which he really needs actually against these Medic Marines. He can't just stay on Hydralisks. Really, I mean, the composition is Hydra Lurk and not just Hydra. So that's, it's got to think about that. Meanwhile, just taking another base here at the top left, going crazy with the bases. I don't think he can actually save this 3 o'clock. He should cancel the lair, make it somewhere else, and maybe just counterattack with the Hydras. I don't think the Hydras are going to stand up to that many siege tanks.
No, absolutely not. I mean, that would be absolutely foolhardy to go in there right now. It looks like he's kind of thinking he's going to, and I'm not too sure I'm a fan of this particular move by SouthPark. I think he needs to save some of those Hydralisks. He's going to do exactly the opposite and send them all to their deaths. The lair is going to go down once again, and SouthPark GG's out of a game which he could have won at several points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, dude, but the thing is, right, from the beginning, after the crazy drop, like, where he lost all of the drones in his main and he was down to 4 drones, and Skyline still had, like, 25, 30 SCVs, I think he was so far behind, I thought he had just already lost the game. And then somehow he just does, like, a huge comeback with Mutas and Hydras, so really, really intense there.
Yeah, really intense. I mean, I kind of thought that SouthPark could have gained that a couple of points. I mean, when his lurkers bugged out, undoubtedly that was a huge moment in the game because he had such a big army before then. I was thinking, there's no way this guy was going to be able to compete with him in the middle until that happened, and I think that's the point at which the game really slipped away from him.
Yeah. Oh man, that's just. I did wonder actually why he borrowed them in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, basically, as soon as they morphed, he just borrowed them all straight away in the middle of the map in, like, a completely useless location. And that's generally just not a good idea anyway. You want to have them... Like, you want to not borrow them if you don't have to, basically. You want to have them, like, in good positions. Just borrowing them randomly in the middle of the map doesn't accomplish anything. And usually it doesn't, it's not terrible. It just means, your lurkers are kind of out of position. But in that case, it ended up being quite bad. So.
Yeah, I mean, burying them all in a clump like that, and they were in literally the worst position I can imagine. Not only were they quite clumped up, but they're also in this kind of line stretching away from where the Terran was going to be approaching from.
Exactly, yes.
Which is just kind of the worst possible engagement position. So it's kind of no wonder it went a little bit south for him at that point. And
I see what you did there.
A little bit south.
Oh, well done, well done.
Yeah, I
Anyway, yeah, so SouthPark is down 0-2 right now, which means he has to win the next 3 games if he wants to take it. It is a best-of-5 series. Skyline sitting quite comfortably there with a 2-0 lead, but it's not over yet, and there have been some crazy comebacks already in the TLS. So I'm excited to see Game 3, which we'll bring you guys right after the break.